guys. Sorry, I was just trying my video actually because I'm so ellipsed that my background is very blurred. Anyways, welcome back to my channel, guys. This is still your Introvert Gail. And for those who are first-timers on my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. And I hope you guys having fun watching my videos all about mostly nursing and everything that I can think of, anything under the sun, as what I've told you in my intros anyway. So now what we're gonna discuss about is about for those of you who are planning to go to Australia and become a registered nurse, and for those who have been dreaming to become a nurse here in Australia, this video is for you guys. So better watch it until the end because I'm gonna share with you something that is really important. Now let's get started. I will not make this long. Okay. Now, do you still have plans of going here in Australia? Do you still want to become a registered nurse in Australia? Have you already thought of what pathway are you gonna take up? Then I will tell you there are some changes with the requirements. So like what I've told you before, there are two pathways for you to become a registered nurse here. It could be bridging program, it could be a conversion program. Now, if you have heard the rumors that they are phasing out the bridging program, and they are like, you have heard about that news? Yes, that is true, my dear. That is very true. So I've been hearing this OBA a long time ago. I've been hearing about this OBA, and I have not really actually read anything about it until today because I need to help my friend anyway. Now, I've read everything that I will tell you guys is all based on the nursing and midwifery board.gov.au website and fact. Now, if you're lazy to read that, this is the right video for you guys. I'm gonna tell you in the simplest way what has changed. Let me introduce you first to the two agencies that you really have to know and you really have to know by heart. Now, number one is NMBA. NMBA means that this is the Nursing and Midwifery Board of Australia. They are the one who are set by the Health Practioner Regulation National Law, and apparently they are the one who regulates the practice of nurse and midwife. Not apparently, actually. They are really the one who's doing all the standards, the codes, the guidelines that we always really need to follow when we become registered nurse here. So alongside, we have a partner, which you really have to know as well. The partner is called AHPRA. AHPRA means Australian Health Practioner Regulation Agency, which means this is an equivalent of the PRC in the Philippines, the Professional Regulation Commission. They do the registration of nurses. They are responsible for assessing international qualified nurses, and that's another thing that you have to remember, the IQNM. And those, it stands for Internationally Qualified Nurses and Midwives. So basically, what do we mean by that? It means that those are the registered nurse or midwife that are not from Australia. Now, there's no bridging program anymore as per March 2020. Meaning to say, they have phased out. For those of you who have been nominated to do bridging program, you can still do it until 2021. For those of you who is in the middle of the course, you can still finish that. But since March 2020, those of you who are planning to go to Australia and have not decided what pathway to take, then they have implemented this one. So you don't have any more option aside from doing the new pathway or doing the conversion course still. Now, they have implemented a new model of assessment, and that involves three. In the new model assessment, the first one that you have to do is to do the online self-check. It is made for the IQNM. That means it's made for the Internationally Qualified Nurse and Midwife. I'm just gonna tell you IQNM, okay? Because it's just so long. Anyway, for the online self-check, you have to do it. All the nurses who want to go to Australia have to do this. It involves 3 criteria. So number 1 is the qualification recognized for registration. Number 2 is the quality assurance and accreditation. And number 3 is the academic level of qualification. The academic level of qualification is minimum. They are comparable to minimum Australian bachelor degree level 7. So I would say if I am from the Philippines and I'm doing the self-check, I will maybe not meet the 3rd criteria, which is the level 7. Because as we all know, the curriculum from the Philippines and the Australian curriculum, education-wise, are not quite similar. So that means when we do our self-check, we could not qualify the 3rd criteria. But don't lose hope and don't be sad, because once you meet the criteria from the self-check, and then that's the time that you're gonna go with the number 2, which is the orientation program. If you didn't meet the criteria, don't lose hope, because you're gonna go for the OBA. And that's the time that we can really discuss about OBA. It says here, all IQ and MS will need to submit their qualification if can demonstrate they will be eligible to apply for registration to AHPRA. So that's what I'm saying. If you meet the criteria of the self-check, then you go straight to registration to AHPRA and you're gonna be a registered nurse. You just need to do the orientation program. But if not, you just go to the OBA and we will discuss that. Now, let's discuss about orientation program first. So it says here, after self-check of all IQ and MS who are assessed as eligible for registration will need to pay a non-refundable assessment fee of 640 Australian dollars. This is for AHPRA cost apparently, and this is to pay them for checking your IQ and M documents and for the orientation itself. Now, I don't know how long will the orientation takes place, but what I understand is that you can register straight away to become registered nurse here, and then you just do your orientation program, and then that's it. You're a nurse. Now, if you didn't meet the criteria, what I'm saying is about the OBA. Now, OBA has 2 stages again. That's what I said, the outcome-based assessment or the OBA. The first stage is the cognitive assessment. The cognitive assessment involves the computer-based multiple choice questions. Now, you have to pass that first before you go to the next stage. And the next stage is the behavioral assessment or the objective structured clinical examination. So another examination. So it feels like it's just theory test and then practical test. So like they said, what they said, it involves practical test, involves your knowledge, testing your knowledge, your skills, and your competence. And they will compare it with a competence of a graduate level Australian nurse. So that means you don't really need to, let's say, it might not be that hard, especially when you're already a registered nurse in the Philippines or registered somewhere. It could not be that hard because it's a level of a graduate nurse. So that means basically all you have learned in school, in your school or university. How are you going to do the stage 1 for OBA? Now, stage 1, like what I've told you, is a multiple choice questions exam. Have you heard about the NCLEX RN exam? Have you heard about like people going to America and then they're taking the NCLEX exam? Basically, guys, you have to take the NCLEX. So that's the stage 1. The RN will sit for NCLEX RN exam through the Pearson VUE test centers. These test centers are available everywhere. You could find it in the Philippines, you could find it everywhere, wherever you are, whichever country you are. I believe they have the Pearson VUE test centers or anywhere near you. But mind you, you cannot take the exam without AHPRA saying that, okay, you can sit for the exam. So that means you really have to do the self-check, and then once AHPRA approved it and you have put all the documents, you have submit all your documents, then the AHPRA will tell you, okay, you did not meet it, but you have to go to the OBA. And then for the OBA, the first stage is the cognitive assessment. Then we will actually give you a letter saying that you have to sit for this test. But before that, just to give you an idea, apparently the exam will cost you around $350 US. That's the cost of the exam, but if you're watching it a little bit later, maybe it could change. This is the NCLEX test, right, guys? I believe there are people who have taken the NCLEX exam. All they have to do is to review questions and to answer the questions. It's like a board exam as well, but well, you just have to prepare for it. So now you have passed the first stage, you have to go to the next stage, which is the practical or the objective structured clinical examination, or what they called OSCE. Now, with this one, it's like the bridging program before. You have to go to Australia. I don't know how long will it take. It might be 3 months again, but I don't know. It might be shorter. Apparently, you have to go to South Australia, which is in the Adelaide Health Simulation Center, located in Adelaide, and you have to do your practical there, and you have to do the examination there, and it costs 4,000 Australian dollars. So I think it's more cheaper than bridging course, but I'm not too sure because I didn't do the bridging course anyways, guys. I did the conversion course. Guys, this is a new thing now. This is what they want, and this is the new assessment tools for you to be qualified to be a registered nurse here in Australia. What I know is that the conversion course is still ongoing, so you still have 2 pathways. You can still do this shortest pathway, but you can also do the longest pathway, which is the conversion course, which can lead you to doing a 1-year conversion course or a 2-year conversion course. But guys, what I just want to tell you with all these changes, if you're really willing to be a registered nurse here in Australia, I have told you, don't give up, guys. You have to weigh your options. You have to weigh what will really benefit you, what is convenient to you financially wise. Are you willing to take the risk of getting this short pathway, but then security wise, you have to really think of it? Because when I did my conversion course, I thought that I'm not gonna do bridging course because it's a very short period and I won't be able to adjust myself and I would not be able to find job. But then if your heart is really into it, just take the risk. Take the risk, or weigh things and check what's the advantages, and if you can really embrace the disadvantages, that would be great. So if you guys are still thinking what to take, I would suggest for you to sit down on this one, put all the advantages and disadvantages, and ask someone to help you guys decide. If you have any questions, if there's some misinformation or whatever, just comment down below. If there's unclear thing, just comment down below, and I hope to see you guys here soon, and I hope that you guys subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys for watching. I hope it helped you a lot. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.